Ellie? Nope, you did not miss it. Excuse me. Clearing my throat. Um, we are we're back in sync to that 5 hour between us. Although I forgot because I was going to appear in someone's live stream, but I don't think I can make it today. Gotta bring up the live stream. I gotta put my shoes on.
After about a decade of working with...
How are you, Ellie? Manifesta says, I was just looking for you. I just mentioned you. We had planned, I was going to come up and talk today, right? My schedule's all messed up because I forgot about the time change and your time over there. So I'll reach back out to you and we'll plan something. I apologize. Ellie says she's okay. Hey, Lucy. Kat says, good morning. Thank you for your help. I love you. I love you too, Kat. I'm glad you are having such an easy, that's our word, easy, holiday, vacation, time away. I do miss you, though. Lacey says, I'm doing well. How are you, Manifester? All right. Hey, Anna. I'm going to put my shoes on. I'm going to put my watch on. We're going to do a deep dive into A Course in Miracles. We're going into the text today. Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the separation and the atonement. Here's all you need to know. The separation never actually happened, and the atonement is when we are given proof, when we're shown that all is well, all is one, and all is love. I'm going to go to section 6, right at the end. Fear and conflict. First, I'm going to also read what I wrote. Guys, I reached out to Mardoshi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Mardoche. Sidor. He is a medical. He was a former assistant clinical professor at Columbia University. This is pretty big. Let me put my shoes on before Ellie yells at me. It's pretty big. He wrote a book recently called, and I've been featuring it on my blog. Whenever I write something, I have an outsource. I have an in-source, which means it goes back to my blog where I post the link for yesterday's blog post. Then I have an outsource, usually for someone's... That hole's getting deeper, guys. Which usually brings you to Amazon to someone's book that I found, a book that I want to read, or a book that I've read, or an author that I support because I've read another one of their books, whatever. And I have not read this book yet, but I'm working through it right now. He's the former assistant clinical professor at Columbia University, which is where Helen and Bill Thetford, Helen Suchman and Bill Thetford received, transcribed, some might say channeled, Kat would say channeled, Course in Miracles. Let's see. Manifesto says, what shoes do you wear? I'm always interested in what people chose for footwear. I wear, I love Merrells. I have several pair of Merrells. I have one of my first long distance backpacking boots were Merrells. I still have them, but the heel box collapsed. But I can't bear to let go of them. I've done, you see, Ellie yelled at me, shoes on now, please. Man, I did so many countless miles on the Appalachian Trail, hiking in Canada, hiking all over that I just could not bear to throw them away. Maybe one day I'll get them fixed. Who knows? Right now I'm wearing Skechers walking shoes, meant for long distance walking, but they're being worn out. They're not bad shoes. They've lasted a bit, but I alternate. I got, as many of you know, I probably have 252 shoes, pairs of shoes, laying around in this room only, and then I got another couple hundred dozen in the next room and downstairs in a closet. I got a lot of shoes. I want to go barefoot as much as possible, barefoot shoes when I wear them. So anyway, Madoshi Siddhar, in the same place as Helen and Bill. Very scientifically minded. He was medical doctor, MD, medical director at Urban Pathways, psychoanalytical candidate at Columbia University, studied at Harvard Medical School. But he was very unhappy with the lack of meaning that he found in all those accolades. And he had stumbled upon A Course in Miracles. He wrote a book, Determined to See, on the first 20 lessons. I often considered the first 20 lessons a path of negation, where it takes things away from you, little by little, before the Course starts adding things. But that lesson 20, I am determined to see, is important, because now we're getting to the Zen matters of A Course in Miracles. What am I determined to see? I'm determined to see the light within you so that I can recognize it in myself. I'm determined to see reality, which is all-encompassing love, which is hidden by the fearful thoughts that I have. And that brings us round to, hey, what's up, Marlon? Hey, sissy. Manifestor says, yes, I'm looking into them, but they are expensive, and they don't last as long as they used to. No shoe does. You know what? It used to be that shoes were crafted, and they were meant to last a long time because they were so well crafted. Now, like everything else, they're a commodity that has a very short shelf life. So you have to buy another pair, and on and on and on and on. Just like, you know what? Phones. Of course, I've had mine for about 10 years. But something needs to be built so it would last. And now it's built until the new model comes out. I understand with technology that, things are updated, things are happening quickly in that world. But still. You guys let me know, because I don't keep up with the phones. What iPhone model are we on, 117? Is model 117 any better than 116? A new phone every year? Is it necessary? I don't know. Again, you guys tell me. Hey, Jim. Let's see. Sorry, let me dive back in. And then I'll read from the Course. Manifestor says, Zamiro Marcos, of running shoes. Most definitely. Ellie says, both shoes are on and the watch is on. So it's going to be a short-ish live stream because the sun is coming up earlier. And I'm going to be out there to catch it. I've been looking forward to this for about a month now because I lost that all-important morning light for filming with my camera. So I'm looking forward to, at least for this week. We lose about 2 minutes of daylight per day. So it's only going to last for a week, maybe 2 weeks. Hey, Fred. Guys, I appreciate your support. For me, I appreciate the support for my channel. It means a lot to me. Hey, did you guys know that our friend Buddha also does YouTube full time. That's her job. And she shows up. Hey, Sandy. Sandy, how are you? So if you guys could support her, share her out. Um, 99, join her channel. 99-cent super chat on the beautiful stuff that she puts out, on the effort that she puts in. Goes a long way. Just something to consider. Let's see. Jim says, buy a new phone, you cheap ass. It's not so much cheap as just not having a whole lot of money right now. Like I says, I buy cheaper shoes. I've had on one pair of shoes for like 4 years. No real damage done on, and they look like really good. Still just money. Yeah, I got mud on my shoes from races that I did 10 years ago. Thank you, Fred. Thank you again. The AHH runners have been looking at some Adidas Terex Gore-Tex runners. I'm not real fond of waterproof shoes. Now, Gore-Tex is breathable. Kat says, be kind, Jen. I suspect that Jim is being as kind as he knows how to be right now. But possibly, he can learn to be a little bit kinder. Possibly because of the example set by Kat and Jack, and Manifester, and Sniper, and Carl, and Ollie, and Selina. All of you guys, our friend Sandy, that be an example of how to be a little bit kinder. No one does it better than Kat. He says, Jim, not everyone is rich. That's true. Plus, why do you need a new phone? If this one's working, I get to see you, you get to see me. All right. Maybe that's not such a bargain. Sandy says she's doing okay, just getting ready to go back up to the hospital now. So how's everything going, Sandy? New baby? Your sister had a baby too, right? Yep, Fred says, as long as it works, you got it. Buddha does full-time. She came up to my channel. I will sub to her. She offered to help me with my channel. She's awesome. You wouldn't even know that she does it full-time. All she does is go around and support and help. Buddha's a wonderful, wonderful person, a wonderful friend. She's been so helpful for so many of us very quietly. By the way, our friend Lucy does YouTube full-time as well. Lucy knows how to do YouTube. Celia says, I appreciate you giving the artwork lady a voice. I thought for a moment you were going to be her father confessor. Yep, her and I are good friends. Always happy when she comes up. For one, she's always insightful. She's always learning. She's always open with everything she's going through. She always makes me smile. As do you, Selina. As mentioned a week or so ago, you and I go way back. As long as I've been doing live streams, pretty much, there's been a Selina, there has been a Eric LaPointe, and there's been a Squirrel Sniper for me. You would think that I would have a shelf life. Zipper says, Jim, check yourself. You're missing your respect. Sandy says, me too. And I hope you're having a good day. Manifestor says, I did your coffee breath work this morning. Awesome. The breath of fire. Cindy says we're back in the afternoon. I just got to the hospital. Semper says, looking like the $6 million man, Eric, in that top today. Steve often approved. Well, thank you. This is one of my favorites. Again, this is something I've done literally probably 1,000 miles in different races, different conditions. The zipper no longer fully works everywhere. Get a spare house key, as I am prone to leaving my key behind. Selena says, yes, way back. You taught me how to say your name because I actually wrote it down in my original book. I have another book just like this with the green cover where I wrote down people's names that I couldn't pronounce, as well as all kinds of other stuff. I wrote down my watch hours. Hey, Chess, how are you, my friend? Chess Lights. Hey, do you play chess? I don't, but we do. Fritz says, kindness, is that masculine? Of course. Kindness is something that is independent of masculine or feminine. Kindness is all important. As a matter of fact, true strength is found in kindness. And if you want to consider yourself truly strong or truly identifying, hey, thank you, Chess. Thank you so much. Well, look at all those jewels. I don't think I've ever seen so many jewels. Thank you. Manifesto says it's 6 billion years shelf life, isn't it? Or is that half life? I think it's the full life. Manifesto says fire, yes. That's awesome. Sophie says I had a Belgium army waterproof, so waterproof it floated away in a canoeing escapade years ago. I hope someone found it and made good use out of it, Sniper. Chestlight says, yes, sir. Hey, maybe you can find someone, do you play online? Maybe someone here will step up and play a game with you. I'd be a little worried about playing. Well, I'm not good at chess, for one, but someone who with the name Chess Lights means that they probably love it, and if they love it, they play it often, and if they play it often, they're probably good. Hey, Tandra. Tandra says, hey, Kat, I thought I saw you come in, Tandra, and I looked for you, and I couldn't find you. Manifesto says, what about waterproof jacket, etc.? I always find military stuff is the best. I brought a French Army Gore-Tex coat, 27-pound sterling brand, best money I ever spent. Well, I have a Gore-Tex parka rain shell parka, that I bought in 1983 when I was a assistant manager at a outfitting store. And I got 30% off, and it was on sale, and I got an additional 30% off on that. So, and it's lasted me that long, and it has been everywhere. It's got holes in my pocket from mice on the Appalachian Trail eating through it. It has been places I haven't been to. It has been to the top of a volcano in Hawaii, because I lent it to a friend who did a trip there. It has been to Europe. It has been in South America. It's been everywhere. I've lent it to people. It's always come back. I actually lost it at a fruit and vegetable stand in Newfoundland. I laid it down, and we went on a canoe trip. The people were so nice. They had canoes, and we asked if they rented them out for the day, and they said no, they only sold them. But if we wanted to take one out for the day, because we were from out of town, out of country, that we could take one and use it for the entire day. And I was so excited that we canoed all day on the Bay of Fundy, and then in the little tributaries. And I came back, I forgot to get my coat, but they found an expired library card in it, and they sent it to me. They looked at my address, they sent it to my house with a note, a very stern warning. That's a very expensive coat you have. We have a hard time getting them here. Please be more careful in the future. Imagine that. The adventures, my coat has had more adventures than I've had. And you're right about the military gear, Manifester. My ex-wife was in the U.S. Air Force, and my best friend is in the Air National Guards, or the Air Guards. And they both, because they got stuff for free, they both got me all kinds of waterproof gear. Gore-Tex military jackets, stuff like that. And I used to collect gear. You know, back when I had my own business and I could afford to, you know, buy that kind of stuff, I bought more than I needed. But now I have it, so I'm happy about that. Chess again, thank you so much, my friend. So many jewels. You ever have dreams where jewels are raining down upon you? It just happened. Excuse me, guys. Tundra says, yes, Yogi. I said hello and asked, how are you? I'm sorry I missed you, Tundra. I am doing well, my friend. How are you? Let's see. Senor Squeaky says, what do you look for in a man? Courage, conviction to be themselves, being unafraid to read someone's silly comment in a live stream, sense of humor. Mainly, those are the same things I look for in a woman. Manifested says, I used to play chess every day at school. My brother bought me an electronic chessboard. I was pretty good. Haven't played for years though. I used to play on my computer because it had prompts. I couldn't play without prompts. I need a little voice that tells me, don't do that. Coincidentally, I do have a little voice in my head that says, don't do that. And that is the voice of the Holy Spirit. As the Course calls it, you could call it the Tao. You could call it your intuition, your higher self, your angelic nature, whatever you want to call it. And if you learn to pause and listen, it will show you where to go. If you woke up in the morning and said, I will make no decisions on my own today, and then ask, whatever symbol you use for that connection, you can use a symbol of Jesus, you can use a symbol of, if you like the more feminine, you can use Mother Mary, you can use Shiva, you can use Krishna, you can use the Tao. The Tao, the Holy Spirit, it's a little abstract. Some people like a symbol that's very personable or personal. So they might go with Jesus or they might go with Krishna. St. Francis, beautiful example. And you ask, what should I do? Where should I go? What should I say? And to whom? And then when you're about to make any type of decision, just pause and ask. Just pause and ask. All right. I do want to dive back in. Manifesto says, Bay Fundi is exactly opposite me in UK. It's the highest rising and falling tide in the world. The second is what I looked at every day out of my window. I didn't know that. Exactly opposite me in the UK. I'm going to do a little more research. We crossed the Bay of Fundy on a ferry. Longest ferry trip I took. I think still the longest ferry. And I remember they had slot machines on the ferry, and they had lobstermen who would travel from the U.S., from Newfoundland to the U.S., and then back again. They would work the shores along Maine, catching lobster, and then go back to, and vice versa, of course. So yeah, I spent the night drinking and gambling and hanging out with lobstermen. And when I say lobstermen, I don't mean half man, half lobster. I know what you're thinking. You know, some type of scientific experiment that's gone wrong. Maybe they were bitten by a radioactive lobster and they became crime-fighting lobstermen. No, I'm talking about people, men and women, who actually would fish for lobsters. I know that's not quite as exciting as a radioactive lobsterman. I don't know what their superpower would be. I've had these conversations with Kat before. Spider-Man, if he was really technically a Spider-Man, if he produced webs the same way that a spider does, be a whole different crime-fighting experience. Anyway, I digress, as I often do. Hey, Daniel, my friend, how are you? So, I did say I was going to read from A Course in Miracles. So I'm just going to read the last two sentences. of chapter 2, um, the last paragraph, paragraph 12, in section 6. There are no idle thoughts. All thinking produces form at some level. And even when you're asleep, except for that deep, deep sleep, in that dream state, your thoughts are still creating a subtle form, and that's what we call dreams. And yet, in a less subtle, the thoughts that you're thinking now are creating this world, which is also a dream, but we don't know it. If you don't like the world you live in, from your personal life, your personal perspective, your situation of where you are with yourself, with your job, with your family, with your mate, with whomever, neighbors, parents, the government. It's based upon the thoughts that you have been thinking that have created this dream individually, which leads to collectively. Course in Miracles could really be said, this is a course in responsibility. You are responsible for the world that you created, which means that you're responsible for fixing the world, for dreaming a happier dream. And so the need for dreaming is completely over because we've woken up together. But it's not that hard. It's just about being mindful. It's the thought that I'm thinking now. This person, towards this government, towards my job, is it based in fear, which is an illusion and only creates a dream? Or is it based in love, which is a reality, which recreates the world that we see, revealing in the real world? And you can tuck in any moment. If I am about to respond in a hurtful, hateful, unkind way, do I want to continue dreaming this world? Or do I want a happier dream? For myself, you can be very selfish. I want a happier dream for myself. But that includes the other person. Guess what? They are in your dream. You will not get a happier dream if you are wishing ill will towards anyone, because they are in your dream. They are a dream character in your dream. When you're having a dream at night, is there anyone in that dream separate from you? Separate from your mind? Separate from the dreaming mind? Or is it just dream stuff? Responsibility, your ability to respond. There are no idle thoughts. All thinking produces form at some level. Do you want to keep producing the form of fear, or do you want to produce love? Let me read what I wrote quickly here. Then we're going to go out. I'm going to get ready to take my walk. The sun's going to be up in less than an hour. No idle thoughts. I wrote about that this morning, by the way. A powerful sentence from chapter 2 of A Course in Miracles tells us that there are no idle thoughts. And then follows with the notion that all thoughts produce form on some level. And there is the answer for the world we see, or more aptly and importantly, the one that we created. So really, this is a course in responsibility, but it should be a joyful one. Our role today is to recreate our world mindfully so, and without self-recrimination. One thought simply recognizes fear, and then given over to the gentle smile of awareness, and then choose a thought of love. That's it. It's that simple. And so the world begins to change, one loving thought at a time. One loving thought at a time. Imagine if you ask yourself in any little moment, is this the most loving thought that I could have right now? Is this the kindest thought I could have? Let me know. Oh, you know what? I began talking this whole thing. Hey, Mike. She gets to come home. Awesome, Sandy. Awesome. Dr. Moore's channel fairy. Yes, with the lobsters. Men scientifically cloned to look exactly like lobsters, or lobsters scientifically cloned to look exactly like men. Cat says, so happy to hear that, Sandy. Me too. Praise white Jesus. Sure. And black. And whatever. Whatever form Jesus comes in. Whatever form makes you happy, my friend. Anna says, being mindful. I'd mentioned the book by Determined to See, this first 20 lessons. Dr. Madoshi Sador. I sent him a message this morning to see if I can get him to come up and have a talk. His book, Determined to See, a science-based and story-driven integration of A Course in Miracles and the 4 layers of transformation. I'll be honest. It's a little technical. Might be over my head. I'll let you know. But I'm sure in a conversation with him, he can help us out. So hopefully he says yes. On another note, Tuesday, James Twyman, author of so many books I can't even begin to name. He wrote The Emissaries of Light, which is about light workers, about the indigo children and the message that they have. He wrote the Joshua Code, the Moses Code, the Kabbalah Code. Was it 12 lessons I learned from 12 spiritual lessons I learned from the mall, where he spent like a week in the mall. One of my favorite books on Portrait of a Master, one of my favorite books on St. Francis and the Prayer of St. Francis. Thank you, David. Why the older I get, the more I'm turning into someone like you. Because I think that if we do it right, if we age right, if we're saging instead of aging, we shed layers. We shed those layers of self-importance that we so long cherished, and we become more of who we've truly been. Become a little less afraid. We don't have to put on those fronts. I don't have to put on the costume of Eric. I don't have to put on the costume of a yogi. I can just be exactly who I am. That's why I purposely chose the name Just a Yogi, because it's nothing special. It's just a guy that wakes up in the morning and does yoga. Let's see. Thank you, David. After sagging myself, I feel better. I am more at peace. I'm glad, Lucy. I actually am an author. Zealot, I am a vegan too. 16 years. Hey, Anthony. I'm glad you're feeling better, Lucy. Yeah, I have like 6 books, I think, on Amazon. I keep a blog. If you visit my blog, leave a message, leave a note, let me know. I've written every single day, 360 plus days a year, because sometimes I double post something. This particular blog since 2011, and then I had one for probably another 10 years before that. Hey, Maddie. So I haven't published a book since 2019, mainly just to work on my blog. I posted here, it's on my page, on my community page, right? And I said, one loving thought at a time. That's all we have to do. That's all we're ever asked to do. So I love that thought. Is this the kindest thought that I could have right now? And then correct it. Or don't. And that works with ourselves. Is this the kindest thought that I can have about myself right now? Oh, I was talking about James Twyman. He's going to be up Tuesday. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk about his new book, I don't know, maybe I love you. It is about starting a movement for depolarizing our families, beginning with ourselves, our family, our neighborhoods, our communities, our workplace, our country, our cities, our country, and the world. And it starts with simply don't saying, I don't know. I don't know everything. Given my present information, I have the answer that works best for me, but I don't know. There could be information about something that would completely change my mind. I doubt it. I like what I thought. I like what I think. I like this political candidate for this reason. But hey, I don't know. I don't know everything. I can't know everything. I can't see how the future's going to unfold. Maybe whoever it is, even if I can't stand them, something would happen where they would end up being they'd step up into the world. I don't know. Is all I'm saying. I don't know. So maybe you're right. Sniper, what was it that you said about the word maybe yesterday or the day before? Catalyst, a very powerful catalyst. Maybe you could be right. I could be wrong. Maybe. Here's what I do know. I love you. I don't know. Maybe I love you. That is his formula, his maxim, his creed in depolarizing. What if you're having a political argument with someone? What if you're having a religious argument with someone? And you simply said, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know the mind of God. How could I? God, in every tradition, has been called the great mystery, the ineffable. I simply don't know. So maybe there's room for your version of God and my version of God. Maybe every single one of these versions is completely wrong. And we're just offering our slim little perception, our interpretation, our conceptualized vision of God. And we're both wrong. Maybe. But I do know moments of silence, when I listen to that intuitive voice, it tells me that love is the only reality, that love is the answer. I love you. Imagine if you had that conversation. So, guys, if you, I'd really love to get so many people to show up to listen to James and our conversation. If you don't mind sharing that out, I generally don't ask people. So it says, Scroll Sniper, you don't really hunt them, do you? David says that politics is crazy. It is crazy, isn't it? Like that, always be open. As Charlie Kirk said when we stopped talking. Thanks for the vibes, Lucy. Sissy says maybe definitely saves arguments, unless someone is triggered by the word maybe. But we won't go there. That's where the follow-up is, I love you. All right, guys, we're going to head out in just a minute. Let's see. Shut up, little beta. I actually don't know what that means. It's hard to be insulted by anything when you don't know what it means. And when you could offer a reinterpretation in your mind. David says, good people can coexist with different gods. It's the extremist that separates us. And every single thought, every single extremist is based upon thoughts. 20 likes. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So if you don't mind, hey, Maddie. Maddie, how are you? Mr. Yogi, my friend. Maddie, I hope you and the family, Chloe and the kids, little Jordy, I hope little Jordy is settling in and feeling better. So if you've pinpointed the ingredient that's disagreeing with him. David says, love, hope you have an amazing day. God bless. God bless you too, my friend. Stepper says, Corey, take a seat on the naughty seat. Take a seat, a naughty seat. I'm glad, Maddie. I'm glad that he's doing much better. Because that is good news for you guys, too. That means you get a little more sleep. So I was talking about if you look at my community page, you'll see the upcoming live stream for Tuesday with David, or I'm sorry, James Twyman. And if you could share that out, whatever social media that you're connected with, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love, again, it's such a powerful and important message for all of us. He's called the Peace Troubadour. He has been in almost every war zone in the past probably 30 years, spreading a message of peace. Hey, Jim. Lady Sky says, how are you? No frills, no mercy. Hey, Lady Sky. Did I miss you when you originally came in? I apologize. All right, guys, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to head out. Manny says, I'm well. Mary, hope you're well. I'm good, Lady Sky. Semper says, Jim, welcome, but no need for politics. Nope. There's lots of political stuff out there. We don't need one more, and you certainly don't need my view on politics. I'm going to say my politics, I tell the story of, bye, Lucy. I tell the story of, and Alan told the same story last Monday. When the Dalai Lama was asked to speak at the Conference of Religious Leaders, and everyone stood up and they gave their title, and they gave a very long-winded answer to what their religious beliefs were. And when it came his turn, he just very briefly stood up and said, my religion is kindness. Sat back down. Love you too, Ellie. So my politics is kindness. Manny says, I tied a hedgehog for raspberry hedgehog. I'll post a short later. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it, Maddie. Some of my favorite parts of the week is joining Maddie on his kitchen table fly tying. You know why? Because Maddie brings such a deep love to his table. Just one of my favorite times. Sissy says, if anyone is interested, today's Rising Energy about frequency holders, I am definitely caught in a bad mantis. How do you get out of a bad mantis? What's up, Wasa? Ellie says, I have to go. Got a lot to get ready for school tomorrow. I understand. All right, let me get out and catch that early morning sunlight, guys. Manifest, I'm going to reach out in just a minute. I'm sorry about that time change. Yesterday I was thinking that we were 5, but we were 4. And now today we're 5, so it's thrown me off. Thank you, Coco. You have a great day too. Ellie says, love you. We love you too. Anna says, good morning to us. Sissy says, Agape, Omni, love to all and to you. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie, you doing a live stream today? Wassa says, I don't think you do get out of it. Not if you're the male mantis. So yeah, that's true. And the female bites the head off. I hate when that happens. Can't tell you how many relationships I had to end because my partner was like, I'm gonna have to bite your head off after this. And I was like, okay, it might be worth it. I can't take that chance though. Thank you, Lady Sky. So it's a good rule of thumb. If your partner says that after whatever in this relationship, they're going to have to bite your head off, you might want to rethink the entire relationship. Hey, Shelly, thanks for coming in. All right, Maddie says, just my aquarium later, fly tying tomorrow. I will look for your aquarium, Maddie. Guys, I'll see you all at 1 o'clock. Come on by, hang out. I'm going to keep with what we did yesterday. Sunday sharing. What's it says? Strangers still relevant? Comment again. It is pretty relevant. It is pretty strange. You keep topping yourself, Watsa. You keep topping yourself. Maddie says, thank you and take care, everyone. Guys, be on the lookout for Maddie. Be on the lookout for each other. Remember that Buddha, full-time YouTuber. This is how she's earning her livelihood. Lucy, full-time YouTuber. That's how she's earning her livelihood. Take care of the people that we can take care of when we're able to take care of them. But most of all, take care of yourself. All right? Love you. See y'all later.